out of what's happening in my life in relationship to God. See, I can't use any excuse. Why? Because God is very specific about what he wants and what he's doing and how we're related to him. In spite of the fact that we fucked it up to the max with religion, which means that religion has enabled themselves, and through that enabling through tradition and rituals and bullshit has completely destroyed, or has come about as fucking close as you can get to destroying what the message really is. But here we go again. If God exists, if God's the most powerful force in the universe, if we're dealing with somebody that can make a star, I'm not worried about it. The guy that can make a star can figure out a way to get the message to whoever he wants to get it to. You see what I mean? So it's nothing to worry about. If he's going to get the message to you, don't even worry about it. It'll get to you. And the same way it got to me. Dr. Gene Scott, he's out there teaching exactly what it says in Greek. Greek is a very specific language. That's why the New Testament's written in Greek. Because God already had it figured out that the day would come when somebody would have enough nuts to say exactly what the Greek is saying without sticking his fucking opinion into it. And the day has arrived. It's right here, it's right now, it's today. And the Greek, being very specific, tells you exactly what the story is. And the story is so different than the horse shit that they're feeding you in religion, it would blow your mind. The first thing is, it doesn't have a fucking thing to do with stop smoking, stop drinking, stop jacking off, stop doing all that shit. It doesn't have anything to do with that. The relationship a person has with God only has to do with the fact that when a person understands what kind of a commitment he's involved in, all that other bullshit that the religious world hangs themselves on, like, you know, stop doing this, stop doing that, stop doing... all that shit takes care of itself. Because a committed person has a tendency to not get involved with horse shit. And a lot of what's going on in life is horse shit. So a committed person is going to just veer away from addictions. He's going to veer away from compulsive behavior. Not because he's doing it, because the commitment to God, the relationship he has struck up with God, that God, being the most powerful force in the universe, already foresaw that a relationship with him would cause these things to come about. But the religious world got it so fucked up that they've got it backwards. They want you to change and turn into this really righteous person so that now you could be part of their fucking situation that looks like they're all cool with their three-piece suit and their fucking ribbons and their star and their bullshit. That's not the way it works. It's whether or not you understand what a commitment is. It's whether or not you understand to what degree the commitment is about. It's whether or not you understand how it's written down. Your fucking instructions are already written down. So you've got no leeway. It's already down on paper. It's already written in the most specific language the world has ever known. What we're supposed to be doing, what the relationship is, what God did, what God wanted to do, what he is doing, what he's going to be doing. It's all written down in a very specific language. So all you need to do two things. You need to learn Greek to where you can speak it fluently, and then go get the Greek original version and find out what he said. That's the one thing you can do. Now, hey, you can do that. You can knock your fucking self out. Go out there to the library and learn to speak Greek and learn Greek and find out what God really said in Greek in the New Testament. Because as Christians, we're dealing with a New Testament. We're dealing with a new covenant that Christ came and did. So, and it's written in Greek so that it can't be, it's a lot harder. It's a lot more difficult, although we've done a tremendous job of fucking it up. It's a lot more difficult to fuck it up when you've got somebody like Dr. Scott that's reading from the Greek and telling you from the Greek lexicon, from great manuscripts that are like dictionaries. He's telling you what it says. And so, right, let's go back now. The question is, does God exist? If God exists, and God is real powerful, and God wants to tell you something, what do you fucking think the chances are he's going to be able to do it? I'll give you a couple seconds to think it over, okay? You done? All right. It's pretty good, huh? The chances are real fucking high, aren't they? God, the most powerful force in the universe, wants to tell you something. What do you fucking think the chances are he'll be able to do it? Now, we're talking about a guy that can make a star. Go ahead. I'll give you a couple of minutes. Try to figure out what the odds might be that anybody that can make a bird fly and that can put the worlds in motion and that can create an atmosphere, get oxygen going, put the right combinations of elements swirling and whirling and swirling and all that shit into being. What do you think the chances of that guy telling you what's going on and communicating to you are? Go ahead. You got it? Okay, good. That's right. Very fucking high. Because anybody that can do that can sure as fuck get a message across and to you. There is no doubt about it. I mean, it would be insane to think that you're dealing with a force, a power, an entity that can do all these things and he can't communicate to you exactly what he's got in mind. I mean, who the fuck is going to convince me of that? That God, that made the entire universe, cannot communicate to you what he wants you to know. Huh? I mean, it's beyond imagination. It's beyond comprehension. And so what happened? He's got a guy, a doctorate from Stanford, that took the Greek, that read the Greek, that knows what the Greek says. And that guy is telling you, and guess what? Does God know how to do something? This guy I'm talking about, Dr. Gene Scott, listen to this. 24 hours a day, there isn't a place you could stand on this globe today with a $40 fucking Radio Shack radio, shortwave, there isn't a place you could stand, not a spot you could stand on this earth today, right now, and turn that fucking shortwave radio on and tune it to 5935 or 13845 or some channel where you're going to hear Dr. Scott telling you what God's got in mind for you to know in the original language. Not the bullshit that religion and tradition and rituals and all that shit wants you to. That's all scams.